This is Jared Horak for today's RacingDigest.com, and we're going to preview the 2018 Kentucky Derby. They've drawn the 20-horse field, and it's going to be run Saturday, May 5th, 2018. It's going to be the 12th race from Churchill Downs, the Grade 1 Kentucky Derby for 3-year-olds, a 1.25 miles on the main track. And it looks like all the favorites have drawn favorable post positions. There shouldn't be any excuses. Looking at the way that the post draw sets up, number 3, Promises Fulfilled. He's one that has a lot of speed. He looks like the inside speed. And from that post position, they almost have to go early. Right next to him, number 4, Flame Away. Now, Flame Away likes to get involved early in his races, and he's one that has been very aggressive in his gallops and his workouts leading up to the Kentucky Derby. So look for him to get out of the gate as well. Right next to them, at number 7, it's going to be Justify, your morning line favorite, the California speed horse. Lightly raced, he's 3 for 3. He likes to get involved early. Some others that could show speed, number 13, Bravazzo. He has speed, he's fresh. Look for him to be involved in the early going. Number 14, Mendelssohn, coming in from Dubai, where he romped by 18 lengths in the UAE Derby. Now, he's one that likes to be forwardly placed, and out of all the horses that are speed horses, it looks like maybe he's drawn the best post position at number 14. So look for him to get involved. A couple others that could be involved are a pair of Todd Pletcher trainees. Number 16, Magnum Moon. He has early pressing versatility. Number 19, Noble Indy. He's one that has a lot of speed, and from that outer post, they're probably going to have to go to secure an early position. So the recent derbies, there hasn't been a ton of speed in recent derbies. The last 4 years, horses with early pressing versatility, the pace has been moderate. They've been able to get out there and win the race. But this year, there are multiple horses that can show speed, and we have a lot of horses that have a lot of quality, stalking and closing. And some of those stalkers and closers, number 5, Audible, your Florida Derby winner, he can beat you from anywhere on the racetrack. He's won from post position 5. He could end up stalking the pace towards the inside. Number 6, Good Magic. He's one that has tactical speed, and with that post position 6, he should be in that second flight, saving some ground, and he could be dangerous in the stretch. And possibly the stalker that has drawn the best post position, number 11, Bolt Oro. He's one that has a lot of class. He's very consistent. He has running style versatility, and Victor Espinoza should have some options from post 11. It looks like your best closers in here are going to be number 9, Hofburg, and I thought he drew well. He was second in the Florida Derby, and he was clearly second best. He was running on nicely, and he's one that seems to be coming up to the race in good order. And then number 18, Vino Rosso, your Wood Memorial winner. He's drawn towards the outside, but I don't know that that's going to affect him that much. He's going to be coming from off the pace, and he should get pace to chase in this race. Now, we talked about some workouts and gallops, and the horses that seem to be coming up to the race the best, based on workouts and gallops since their last starts. Justify has looked good in his works at Santa Anita. He's looked excellent in his gallops at Churchill Downs. Good Magic has been outstanding in his gallops and his works since the Bluegrass Stakes, since he won that race. And then Hofburg, we just mentioned him as possibly the best closer in the race. He really seems to be coming up to the race in good order. Now let's look at the bloodlines of some of the top contenders and see how they may fare at 1.25 miles. Bolt d'Oro seems to have a strong pedigree. Medaglia d'Oro, his sire, was a classy horse. He sired numerous stakes winners. The dam sire, AP Indy, was a Belmont Stakes winner and a Breeders' Cup Classic winner. AP Indy's a strong stamina influence. So Bolt d'Oro will probably be able to get the 1.25 miles. Good Magic has an excellent pedigree, and I like that blend of speed and stamina in his pedigree. Curlin is his sire. Curlin was third in the Derby. He was second in the Preakness. Curlin, he was first in the Preakness and second in the Belmont Stakes. And he was a 1.25 miles specialist. Hard Spun is the dam sire, and Hard Spun, at the same year as Curlin, was hitting the board in some of those Kentucky Derby races. So Hard Spun gives him some speed. Curlin gives him the stamina. That's a good blend in his pedigree. Hofburg, the sire, Tappet, and Tappet has sired 3 Belmont Stakes winners. The dam sires, Touch Gold won the Belmont Stakes. So Hofburg's lightly raced with only 3 starts. He's still eligible for a non-winners of 1 other than. He's coming up to the race good, and he really has a Belmont Stakes pedigree. So watch for him maybe to run okay in the Derby, skip the Preakness, and then run in the Belmont and be a big threat to win that one. Magnum Moon has a nice pedigree. Malibu Moon sired Orb, and Orb won the Kentucky Derby a few years ago. Unbridled Song on the bottom gives him a nice blend, like Good Magic, of that speed and stamina. Salamini might have the best pedigree in the field. Curlin is his sire. Stormcat a very influential sire and sire of sires, top and bottom. He's got a nice pedigree. Vino Rosso is another one with an outstanding pedigree. Again, Curlin is the sire, and Curlin has sired Exaggerator, a Preakness winner, a Palace Malice, a Belmont winner, and Keen Ice, a Travers winner. And then on the dam side, Street Cry. Street Cry sired Zenyatta and Street Sense. So a lot of stamina in Vino Rosso's pedigree, and he's another one that maybe even in the Belmont Stakes, he should be able to run all day. And we should talk about the Apollo Curse because it does affect a couple of your favorites, Justify and Magnum Moon. And the Apollo Curse is, Apollo was the last horse to win the Kentucky Derby as an unraced 2-year-old in 1882. Now, a lot of horses have tried since then, and they've all failed. Curlin was one that tried, and he didn't make it. So they have a lot to overcome, and I think the big obstacle, it isn't just that they didn't race as a 2-year-old, is that they miss out on all that experience and muscle building leading up to the Kentucky Derby. Some of these horses, like Bolt Doro, Good Magic, they've been pointing to the Derby and working towards it for almost 10 months. And then you have Justify, he just jumped on the trail in his career debut in February, so maybe he's been on the Derby trail for 10 weeks. So you have some horses that have been on the Derby trail almost a year, and then you have horses like Justify, only 10 weeks. So that's the difference, that the other horses are just so well prepared to run a mile and a quarter, and Justify has to just try to win this race on raw talent. It's not impossible, but it's not an easy task, to say the least. And we're going to jump over to some Today's Racing Digest speed figures, and I think two of the Digest speed figures that mean the most in the Derby, the Comprehensive Performance Rating, or CPR, that takes into account pace, final time, and closing fraction. So stamina with that tactical speed is dangerous in the Derby. So horses that have those kind of good numbers are dangerous. The fire number is speed throughout a race. And these numbers are exclusive to Today's Racing Digest. They're not just speed figures. They're performance ratings. They take into account the whole race. And they may give us a clue to some of the good runners in this field. Now, some of the top numbers from the CPR and fire ratings. Audible in the Florida Derby, he earned some strong numbers. Hofburg was second there. The Santa Anita Derby came back pretty strong with Justify and Bolt Doro. Magnum Moon from the Arkansas Derby, he earned a solid number. And then Vino Rosso in the Memorial, again, another one that could do well based on Today's Racing Digest numbers. Now you can read my Derby blogs each week. I have a Kentucky Derby blog, my most recent one will be on there. You can read that, and that is at today'sracingdigest.com. My Kentucky Derby full card, my annual report, at today'sracingdigest.com is on there right now. I have the Kentucky Derby and the whole full card from Churchill Downs at today'sracingdigest.com. I've been doing my Derby list since last September. People want to know who I like in the Derby. Well, obviously, Bolt Doro was my original #1 when I started last September. He's still #1, and I think he has a big shot to win the race. So he's certainly one of my top contenders to win the Derby. But if you want all of my wagering strategies, win, exacta, trifecta, and superfecta, you can find that in my full card at today'sracingdigest.com. Who do you like in the 2018 Kentucky Derby? Leave your comments below, and hope you have a productive and profitable Kentucky Derby 2018. Till next week, good luck at the races.